Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into something I think, well, pretty much everyone struggles with at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Those moments, right?
Yeah.
Your emotions just surge, you react without thinking, and boom, instant regret.
That wave just washes over you.
Mm-hmm. We've all been there. Maybe it's firing off a sharp email or, losing it a bit in a team meeting.
Or just replaying a conversation thinking, ugh, I could have handled that so much better.
Exactly. And look, in today's world, keeping your cool isn't just like a nice to have. It's really fundamental.
It absolutely shapes everything, your decisions, your relationships.
Totally. We're talking about real emotional regulation, actually noticing those strong feelings, figuring out where they're coming from. And then this is the key part, choosing how you respond.
Not just reacting, choosing, turning that nervous energy into focus, maybe. Or frustration into being assertive, but, constructively.
Precisely. Which brings us to today's deep dive. Can't control emotional outbursts. There's a proven method for that. We're unpacking a structured, science-backed approach. It's called the pause method, and it's something you can start using right away.
And the science behind why we react like that is fascinating. It's often called an amygdala hijack.
Ah, yes, I've heard of that.
Yeah, basically your brain's threat system kicks in super fast fractions of a second, and it just bypasses your rational thinking.
Leading to those regrettable moments.
Exactly. But the good news is, research shows, and this is solid research, that deliberately practicing emotional regulation, it really works. It reduces the intensity, the duration of those reactions. It creates this tiny but crucial pause.
That space between trigger and response.
And mastering something like this pause method, it leads to better decisions, stronger relationships, less stress. It's a big deal. It's 5 steps. Pause, acknowledge, understand, select, and engage. It's about intention.
Okay, let's get into it. Step 1, the foundation. Pause.
The big P.
Right. And it sounds simple, but it's really about reclaiming that split second, isn't it? Interrupting that knee-jerk reaction.
It is. It's about giving your prefrontal cortex, the thinking part of your brain, a chance to actually catch up and, take the wheel.
Stop the hijack?
Stop the hijack.
Yeah.
And there are practical ways to do this. One of the quickest is the tactical breath. Super simple.
Okay, how does that work?
You just breathe in slowly, say for 4 counts, hold for 1, breathe out slowly for 4 counts, repeat it maybe 2 or 3 times.
And that actually does something physically.
Oh, yeah. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system.
Yeah.
That's your body's rest and digest system. Immediate calming effect.
Wow. Okay. I can almost feel it now. What if things feel really intense, though?
Right. For those moments when you're really spinning, there's physical grounding, sometimes called the 5-4-3-2-1 technique.
5-4-3-2-1.
Yeah. You deliberately notice 5 things you can see around you, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste.
So it pulls you out of your head and into the physical environment.
Exactly. It anchors you in the present, redirects your focus away from the internal storm.
Okay, but what about, real-time situations? Like you're in a tense meeting, you can't exactly start looking for things to taste?
Right. Good point. For that, we have the micro timeout. It's subtle.
Micro timeout, I like that.
It could be saying something like, I'd like a moment to consider that before I respond. Or even just taking a slow sip of water.
Creating a physical pause.
Yeah, or adjusting your posture, maybe briefly closing your eyes. Even just a few seconds can be enough to prevent saying something you'll regret later. It can save hours of cleanup.
That's so true. So let's imagine, you get some tough feedback from your boss. Instead of jumping straight to defense.
You could take maybe 2 or 3 tactical breaths, just quietly.
Or if there's conflict brewing in a team meeting.
Quick 5-4-3-2-1 in your head. Notice the color of the wall, the feel of the chair.
And if unexpected bad news hits?
That micro timeout. Let me just process this for a second. Game changer.
Okay, so for you listening, here's a quick exercise. Pause points. Think about 3 situations that usually trigger a strong reaction for you. What's your typical response? Now, pick one of those pause techniques. Breathing, grounding, micro timeout, and really visualize using it next time.
And people often say, but I don't have time to pause.
Right. It feels like things are moving too fast.
But if you practice the tactical breath when you're not stressed, just for a few seconds here and there, you build that muscle. It becomes quick, like 5-10 seconds quick when you need it.
Okay, that makes sense. Practice makes perfect, or at least faster.
And if you worry about looking hesitant, frame it. I want to give this proper thought. It sounds considered, not weak.
Good point. What if emotions just hit too fast before you even think to pause?
Try setting up environmental cues, like a specific object on your desk or maybe your computer wallpaper, something that just visually reminds you. Pause.
Okay, so you've paused. You've created that space.
Right.
What's next? This is where it gets really interesting, right? Acknowledge.
Yes. Acknowledge what you're actually feeling. And this isn't about judgment, it's just noticing.
Just naming it. I read somewhere that just putting a label on the emotion can actually calm it down.
That's exactly right. Neuroscientists call it affect labeling. Naming the feeling activates your prefrontal cortex, takes some power away from the amygdala, it dials down the intensity.
And the more specific you can be, the better. Like not just bad, but...
Precisely. That's emotional granularity. Being specific helps you manage it better.
So how do we get specific? How do we move beyond just angry or stressed?
Well, one great tool is the emotion wheel exercise. You start broad, maybe fear, then you drill down. Is it worry, anxiety, apprehension?
So you refine it. Fear becomes maybe anticipatory anxiety about a presentation.
Exactly. That level of precision points you towards a specific cause and potentially a solution rather than just feeling overwhelmed by general fear.
Makes sense. What else?
Another technique is the body scan. Where do you feel the emotion in your body?
Oh, interesting. Like noticing a tight jaw or tense shoulders.
Or butterflies in your stomach.
Yeah.
Connect those physical sensations to the emotion. Tight jaw might be anger or tension. Butterflies could be anxiety or even excitement. Sometimes they feel similar.
Right. And maybe rate the intensity, like 1 to 10.
Yeah, that helps track it. Then, critically, you adopt the stance of the non-judgmental observer.
Meaning?
You notice the feeling without beating yourself up about it. So not, ugh, I shouldn't be feeling anxious, but simply, okay, I'm noticing anxiety. And that's understandable given the situation.
Detached awareness almost.
Kind of. It's self-awareness without self-criticism.
Got it. So for you listening, try this. Emotion vocabulary builder. Make a list, maybe 20 specific emotion words, define them, note how they feel in your body, and think of a recent time you felt that way at work. It really builds your internal toolkit.
And if you struggle to get past just good or bad, start with the body. Where's the tension? Where's the energy? Then work backward to possible emotion labels.
What if you're someone who tends to bottle things up, especially negative emotions?
Practice acknowledging them privately first. Write it down. Say it out loud when you're alone. Just get comfortable with naming it for yourself.
And that anxiety versus excitement confusion.
Make your own little cheat sheet.
Yeah.
How do you experience the difference? What are the subtle tells for each one in your body or thoughts?
Okay, so we've paused, we've acknowledged the feeling. Logically, the next question is, why? Why am I feeling this? That brings us to understand the source.
Exactly. What triggered this? What underlying need isn't being met? Are there patterns here?
This is where we connect the dots. You mentioned the ABC model earlier, antecedent, behavior, consequence.
Right. It's a simple framework. What happened right before, antecedent? What was my emotional behavioral reaction, behavior? And what was the result, consequence? It helps map out the chain reaction.
So how do we dig deeper into those triggers and needs?
One really effective technique is the 5 whys analysis, like toddlers do.
Just keep asking why.
Pretty much. Start with the emotion. I feel really irritated. Why? Because my idea was ignored. Why? Because I wasn't given a chance to explain it. Why? And you keep going. Usually by the 5th why, you hit a deeper reason, maybe feeling undervalued or disrespected.
That's powerful. Just simple questions uncovering core needs.
It really is. Another lens is the values-emotions connection. Strong reactions often happen when our core values feel threatened.
Like competence or fairness or recognition.
Exactly. So if you feel angry when interrupted, ask yourself what value feels trampled on here. Maybe it's respect or feeling heard. Understanding that connection gives you insight into why it bothers you so much.
And how do we spot recurring themes? Like if the same type of situation keeps setting me off.
That's where the pattern recognition log comes in. For a week or so, jot down situations that trigger strong emotions. Note the context, who was involved, what happened just before. Then look for common threads.
Okay, so for you listening, trigger pattern journal. For 1 week, log those strong reactions. Note the trigger, your response, and try to identify an underlying need or value. Then review it. See what patterns jump out.
Now, you might find yourself reacting without really knowing why in the moment.
Totally happens.
So try scheduling just 5 minutes at the end of each day to reflect. Okay, what strong emotions came up today? What might have triggered them? It builds that self-awareness muscle over time.
What if the reaction feels way bigger than the situation seems to warrant?
That could be an emotional echo. The current situation might be poking an old wound or pattern from the past. Worth considering.
And it's crucial to remember, understanding why isn't the whole battle, right?
It's definitely not.
Yeah.
It's necessary, but not sufficient. You need the other pause steps too, especially choosing your response, which leads us perfectly into the next step.
Right. So you've paused, acknowledged, understood. Now you're at a crucial choice point. You get to select a response instead of just reacting. This is about being intentional.
Strategic emotional expression, you could call it. Choosing how and when to express your emotion for the best outcome, considering your goals and the context.
Moving from just feeling it to using it purposefully. How do we make that selection?
We can think about the response options matrix. Basically, 4 main paths. Express it directly but skillfully. Redirect the energy channel frustration into problem solving, for example. Postpone dealing with it until a better time or place, or transform it by reframing your perspective.
4 clear options. Express, redirect, postpone, transform. How do you choose?
That's where the goal alignment check is key. What's your immediate goal here? What's your longer-term goal? Which of those 4 response options best serves both? And always weigh the potential consequences.
So it's very strategic, but doesn't that risk feeling fake or manipulative?
That's a valid concern, which is why the context assessment is also vital. You have to adapt. What's the power dynamic? What's the relationship history? Public or private? Time pressure. These factors guide how you implement your chosen strategy authentically.
Okay, give me an example. Say, I'm frustrated with project delays in a big meeting.
Well, you could express it directly. I'm frustrated by these delays, but maybe redirecting is smarter. Okay, let's focus. What are the specific bottlenecks and how can we tackle them right now? That channels the energy productively.
Right, more strategic in that context. Okay, practice time for the listeners. Response strategy playbook. Pick 5-7 common tricky situations you face. For each, brainstorm at least 3 different response strategies using those 4 options: express, redirect, postpone, transform. Note the pros and cons.
Like for receiving critical feedback, strategy 1, inquiry, express, redirect. Help me understand that better. Strategy 2, appreciate and reflect, postpone. Thanks. Let me think on that. Strategy 3, reframe, transform. Okay, this is a growth opportunity. Having options ready helps.
What if you know the best response, but in the heat of the moment, you just revert?
Happens all the time. 2 things help. Create actual scripts for common scenarios and practice them. Even just mentally rehearsing builds the neural pathways.
Mental reps.
Exactly. And if all options seem bad, choose a process response. Something like, I need some time to consider this carefully. It buys you time.
And the authenticity piece.
It's about finding the sweet spot. Where does your genuine feeling overlap with what's effective and appropriate in this situation? It's not about being fake. It's about being skillful.
Okay, brings us to the final step.
Yeah.
You've done the internal work, paused, acknowledged, understood, selected. Now it's time to act. Engage intentionally.
This is where the rubber meets the road, putting that chosen strategy into action effectively.
Bringing it all together. How do we do that well?
3 key techniques here. First, the communication calibration approach. This means aligning everything. Your words, verbal, your tone, pace, volume, vocal, and your body language, facial expressions, visual. Are they all sending the same intended message?
So it's the whole package, not just what you say, but how you say it and what your face is doing while you say it.
Precisely. Second, you need to be a feedback loop monitor. As you're engaging, watch the other person. How are they reacting? Are they leaning in, crossing their arms, nodding? Use that real-time feedback to adjust your approach if needed. Maybe pivot to a backup strategy.
Like reading the room, but also reading the specific person you're talking to.
Exactly. And third, maintain the authentic alignment check. Does this engagement still feel true to your values, even while being strategic? If it starts to feel off or inauthentic, you might need to recalibrate slightly.
Okay, so let's walk through an example. Presenting a concern to your boss.
You'd engage using calm, clear words, verbal, a steady tone, vocal, maybe open posture and eye contact, visual. You'd monitor the reactions, feedback loop, and you'd ensure you're advocating respectfully in line with your value of integrity, authentic alignment.
Got it. So practice for listeners. Engagement simulation. Pick a tough scenario you anticipate. Script it out. What you'll say, how you'll say it, what responses you expect, how you'll react to their reactions, then practice it out loud. Maybe even role play with someone you trust.
And look, sometimes, despite your best efforts, the other person might react negatively.
Yeah, what then?
Have contingency plans. Think a few steps ahead. What if they say X? Then I'll try Y. Stay flexible, but keep your goal in mind.
What if your own emotions start bubbling up again during the conversation?
Use those micro pauses we talked about. Take a sip of water. Glance at your notes. Just a second or two to recenter yourself using a quick tactical breath.
And if you're unsure how your message is landing,
Just ask. Check for understanding periodically. Does that make sense? Or just want to make sure we're on the same page here? Clarity prevents misunderstandings. So we've walked through all 5 steps: pause, acknowledge, understand, select, engage. But the real power comes when this isn't just a conscious checklist, right? When it becomes more automatic.
yeah, how do we make this whole pause method ingrained? Make it a habit, second nature.
It's about consistent integration. One way is the trigger strategy mapping. Make a simple chart or list. Common trigger successful pause strategy used. Review it often. It reinforces the connection.
Like programming your brain.
Sort of. Then there's the practice progression. Don't try to use it first in a massive conflict. Start small. Low-stakes situations first. Then moderate challenges. Build up to the high-stress ones.
Gradual exposure.
Exactly. And don't underestimate environment design. Change your surroundings to support you. Use those visual cues we mentioned, reminders on your monitor, phone wallpaper. Maybe schedule a 2-minute regulation check-in on your calendar midday. Have a spot you can go to for a quick pause.
Setting yourself up for success. But let's be real. Nobody's perfect. There will be times you slip up, right? When the emotion just takes over despite your best intentions.
Absolutely. It happens. The goal isn't perfection. It's progress and resilience.
So what do you do when you do have an outburst or react poorly? How do you recover?
Key recovery steps. First, self-compassion. Don't beat yourself up. Acknowledge it was hard. Second, analysis without blame. Objectively, what happened? What can I learn? Third, repair actions. If your reaction impacted others, apologize or take steps to mend things. Fourth, have a reset routine, something that helps you get back to baseline emotionally. And finally, integrate the lessons learned to strengthen your approach next time.
That's a great recovery framework. Can you maybe illustrate the whole pause method with like a real world example?
Sure, let's talk about Laura, a senior project manager. Huge pressure. A major client rejected her team's big deliverable just days before the final deadline.
Oof, high stakes. Prime territory for an amygdala hijack.
Totally. In the meeting, Laura felt this immediate wave of defensiveness, frustration, anger.
Okay, so PPOS.
Yes. She recognized the surge and asked for a 5-minute break, saying she needed to review some notes. Smart move. During that break, she did tactical breathing and some quick physical grounding.
Okay, then A,
Yeah.
acknowledge.
She named the feelings: disappointment, worry about her team, anxiety about the timeline, got specific.
Understand.
She did a quick 5 whys in her head. Realized the core issue wasn't just the rejection, but feeling her team's hard work was dismissed, and worry about their performance reviews, value threat, recognition, fairness.
Select.
She considered her options, decided against defensiveness, chose a strategy to acknowledge the client's points, show commitment to fixing it, but also implicitly protect her team's morale, focused on collaboration.
And finally, engage.
She went back in, calmly acknowledged the feedback using phrases like, "I understand your concerns about X," asked clarifying questions to show she was listening, proposed a collaborative plan forward, maintained steady eye contact, calm tone, calibrated communication.
And the outcome.
It turned things around. The client felt heard, respected her professionalism. The team felt supported, rallied, and they actually delivered an improved product. What could have been a disaster became a moment that strengthened the client relationship and team cohesion.
That's a fantastic illustration. It really shows how pause isn't about not feeling, but about navigating those feelings constructively. It puts you back in the driver's seat.
Exactly. It's harnessing the energy of emotions, preventing the destructive part, and channeling it effectively.
So wrapping up, the pause method: pause, acknowledge, understand, select, engage. It's a powerful toolkit. It gives you that control.
And the long-term benefits are significant. Better decisions, stronger connections, less stress. Remember, it's a journey, not a destination. Every challenge is practice.
So for everyone listening, how can they start right now?
Okay, simple action plan. This week, just focus on the pause. Practice tactical breathing daily, even for 30 seconds. Start your emotion vocabulary list. Identify maybe 3 to 5 of your most common triggers. Sketch out a basic trigger strategy map for 1 or 2 of them. Mentally rehearse or role play using pause for one upcoming situation. Maybe start a quick journal, noting emotional moments and how you handled them. Check in with yourself in a week. See what's working, what needs tweaking.
Little steps build momentum.
They really do. And here's a final thought. When you commit to this practice, you're doing more than just managing tricky moments. You're fundamentally changing your relationship with your own emotions, building a more resilient and intentional you.